Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. In this episode, it is part 4 of a 4-part series with Darin Olien, the Indiana Jones of superfood hunting. The guy absolutely rocks. Hopefully, you've gone back and listened to the other episodes, but in this one, he's going to cover topics like GMO, what the superfood nut that he has recently discovered, and I actually just bought some, so I'm excited for him to tell you about those. And then 3 simple things that we can do that we easily overlook, that we can do to live a healthy super life. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, owner of PutYourselfFirst.com, and I'm a health and fitness coach that's helped thousands of people just get on their health and fitness journey and live a healthy, fulfilling life. Because I was in that area where I struggled for a long time. I've learned some things along the way, and so I share my journey with you, but I also love bringing on special guests onto the show that know so much. Darin Olien is one of those. Now, hopefully you've gone and you've listened to 3 of the other 3 episodes that we've had with Darin. If not, this carry forward, move into to episode 4. But you know what? If you really want to have value, go back and listen to the other ones because the dude knows some major stuff. It's totally awesome. Now, in this one, we are going to talk about GMO, and we're going to talk about there's a nut in Brazil that he has discovered that is super nutrient dense. So I'm excited for him to share that with you. And the other thing is 3 simple things that we easily overlook that we can do, we can implement in our lives to live a super life, a healthy life. So anyway, I am excited to have Darin back on and to be able to share this with you. So let's get to it. My father-in-law wanted to know, as we were talking about your book, he's like, the topic of GMO, and you probably could go on and on and on. So maybe in just a short way, he's like, what's GMO doing to us and chipping away at us over time here, and are we just going to become brain dead eventually?
It's I largely believe that this is my personal point of view, that genetically modified food, and it's not being identified, but it's in most conventionally processed food in some capacity, that it's largely building up and being a leader in causing tumors and promoting cancer. It is the basis instructional level of our DNA, of our RNA, sending signals to replicate, to repair. It's messing up those systems. And that is going to have severe consequences. So, just a little thing for your listeners. So genetically modified organisms was someone's bright idea. It's not agricultural modification, whereas you're taking stronger strains of the same genetic plant and you're just making them stronger within the same genetic line. Where genetically modified organisms and food comes in is the origin was the tomato crop got wiped out in the United States. So a scientist saw that there was this fish that could live in severe cold water. So they looked at the genetics of that and spliced the adaptation that it had to combat freezing to death. So it used E. coli bacteria to break the bonds of DNA and on a cellular level to infuse it together to then create an expression in a tomato that would be resistant to cold from a fish. Wow. The problem that when we ingest that stuff is it's a misrepresentation and a beyond, it's not a uniform instruction for natural DNA, which then causes all kinds of disruptions in the body, which some of the best ones are tumors. And there's been a lot of genetically modified studies that have been suppressed. And it's an evil experiment. And they, believe me, and this is not conspiracy at all, they know that this stuff is not good. And they continue to, based on profit, allow this stuff to be in the marketplace. So regardless of what you believe, if you really think that a big company and the government would allow this to happen, well, wake up, because just do your own work. And if you want to believe that, then feel free and pour Roundup on all your food and eat all the genetically modified food you want, and add that up over time. And let's talk in the next 30 years. And I want to talk to you and that person about how you're feeling and how you're doing. I just don't want to gamble on a scientist over the natural order of nature. I am not going to do it. I learned early on, and the mentors that were around me, observe nature, because nature's organizing capacity and evolution is so much more advanced than our tiny awareness and minds can even fathom. So if we observe nature, if we look at a plant and understand it and go, that's how an animal consumes it, that's how this plant proliferates, that's how nature uses it, then let's follow that path, as opposed to a researcher that's funded by a company that is out to make money off of you, to somehow delusion yourself into thinking that it's about helping feed people, when it's a complete divorce of nature. Completely. Growing in that way is a complete divorce of nature, and we have all the food we need if we do it correctly.
Wow. Thanks for that. That's about what, a lot more than I thought you would, well, not that I thought you would say, but a lot more value than I expected. So that's totally awesome. So what else do I have here? One question about Shakeology. Is there one or two ingredients like you're so proud of that's in there?
Yeah. I would have to say probably moringa and chaga.
Moringa and chaga.
I mean, there's a list. I mean, I'm proud of every one of them. And I really have a love for the adaptogens, from everything from, chaga's in there too. And reishi, schizandra, ashwagandha, astragalus. Those things are, helping the body heal, helping the body combat stressors of daily life. Those things are powerful, and those have been used for a very long time. But moringa was a fight to get a quality in a place that we could use. Chaga was a sustainable thing, where we finally found a source that was sustainable and at a place where we could get it. Those are, if you were to say, moringa and chaga are some of the loves of my life in the botanical world.
Okay. Very, very cool. Hey, so are there any new projects that you're working on besides the water, thing that you're making?
Yeah.
And any other big projects that you'd like to promote, let people know about?
Well, the Superfood Conservancy is something. You can check it out on my website, superlife.com, and then under Superfood Conservancy, you can see that that's a lifetime of exposure to this world that I'm helping to, in my own way, help to improve quality of botanicals and superfoods and supplements. That's important. Another really incredible find was out of Brazil. And I found the most nutrient-dense nut that I've ever found.
I got to get some of those. I know what you're going to say.
They're incredible. So it comes from the baru tree. Our trade name is barucus. So the baru nut comes from the savanna of Brazil, the Cerrado.
Baru, correct?
Yeah.
Baru?
And the trade name is baru K-A-S. So Barukas. And we're just launching that. We're just gearing up to go back to Brazil to lock down supply chain management and everything else. Those are incredible. They are the most nutrient giving nut I've ever seen, with huge amounts of plant-based proteins, huge amounts of fiber that don't exist in nuts, a massive amount of magnesium and iron, which are two of the largest lacking nutrients of people. And it's connected to a much larger sustainable, future sustainable project, whereas the Cerrado is kind of akin to the Amazon and is getting decimated. And only 2% of the Cerrado is being protected, and the Baru lives in the Cerrado. So the more value we bring to the Baru and the vegetation there, the more we can save that area from being wiped out by unproductive cattle grazing, unsustainable cattle grazing, and food planting for cattle, which is completely insane to me. So it's connected to a much larger, but here's the crazy thing. They taste like the most delicious nut I have ever had in my life. I've been eating them constantly for a year, and I am more addicted to them now than I was when I first had them. So that's a project very dear to me. So I'm stoked about that. And then again, the stem cell thing, more to come on that in probably 6 months. And then the Superfood Conservancy and bunch of little satellite projects here, but those are some of the big ones.
I've heard a few of my friends say that have bought them, and I've gone to buy them a couple times and just haven't done it yet, but I will after this podcast. So thanks so much for sharing that. So as we close here, Darin, and still got people still on live. That's way cool. Are there a few simple things that people should do to be healthy and have a super life that we easily overlook?
Yeah, good question. Well, I would say I would go back to their origin, and that is be willing to be curious. Be willing to, whatever your curiosity is and what you want to cultivate in your life, and be willing to start exploring it. Be a student of it. And that curiosity feeds passion. That passion feeds purpose. And ultimately, your body thrives on a physiological level when you're in creation, when you're curious, when you're letting yourself be fueled by those things. Don't let yourself or anyone else tell you, nah, that's probably wouldn't happen. You probably can't do that. Every time someone said to me, you shouldn't travel, that's scary. What if you get hurt? What if blah, blah, blah. Every time someone said no, it gave me more fuel. So I would say cultivate your curiosity and don't say no to the things that you're passionate about. That's number one. Number two is get a lot of sleep. Go to sleep. Nurture your sleep time, because it's really hard to make up for what the brain needs to go through, what the body needs to repair when you're not getting enough sleep. Breathing. Focus on nose breathing only, even while you're working out. Try not to breathe from your mouth. There's a great book out called The Oxygen Advantage. It will change your world on how and what you perceive the natural breathing rhythms of the nose. So step into some sort of breathing routine. Get back to consciously breathing. Could be meditation, could be a variety of things. And then water. Water is so very important. And then bathe yourself daily in fresh, delicious, whole foods, and get as many superfoods in your body as possible, because we are getting the shit kicked out of us in our life, and we need this stuff just so that we can thrive. So don't get yanked down by your body anymore. get these damn habits in place so that you can then live at a curiosity level that you're just stoked to get up every morning and have.
Wow. Very, very good advice. I love that. We kind of I've shared many of those topics myself, but it's always good to have somebody else, kind of validate and confirm that. You have yourself an awesome, awesome day. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.
Wow. What a great interview series with Darin Olien. Hopefully I can have him on a future episode, because I'm sure a lot of you have even more questions. If you didn't get a chance and listen to the other episodes, please go back into the podcast app or in iTunes and or even on Google Play or Stitcher, and you can listen to past episodes, and you can get those there to listen to the other nuggets of awesomeness that he shared. And I so appreciate you for coming on here and being a subscriber. I appreciate Darin Olien for coming on here and sharing his insights and expertise. And if you'd like to learn more about Darin or the projects he's working on, or check out some of the things that he shared on this episode, go to his website at superlife.com, or even go over to Amazon and or Barnes & Noble, I guess, and check out his book called SuperLife, The 5 Forces That Will Make You Healthy, Fit, and Eternally Awesome. I'll include a link in the show notes there. I hope this podcast and this interview series has helped you, and it would be crazy awesome if you know of somebody who could benefit from that. Please pass it on, share it. That's totally great. Here's another thing. If you find yourself kind of stuck in a place where you're like kind of the day's controlling you, and you're finding there's never enough time in the day to get the things done you want to get done, or even get your workout in, download my free Fit Start guide at myfitstart.com. It's all yours. And if you're interested, I am starting a free group on Facebook. And if you'd like to be a part of that community, just comment below or message me. I can make sure to get you all that information and those details when we finally launch it. So I appreciate you for subscribing and sharing this show, and it'd be crazy, crazy awesome if you went over to the iTunes store or in your podcast app and gave Power Blast Podcast an honest rating and review. I so appreciate you for doing that. You absolutely rock. Remember,
it's never
too late.
Too late.